Hello everyone, Blue Dooley, and welcome to SnowRunner Boat Simulation. At least the trucks float, and there's enough current that it'll eventually carry the truck to dry ground if you don't want to just rescue it and lose your trailer. And here is a little video of my gripe about the Chevy lift kit. Those drive shaft angles wouldn't work at all. There would be no down travel. That's just a nitpick. The main focus on this video is coming up here in just a second. We're going to unlock the Western Star twin steer truck. And I have two different service bodies on these trucks. The one here on the Paystar looks cool, but it doesn't carry enough service points to actually fully repair the twin steer. So you have to get that big green van body if you want to fully repair the twin steer in the first go. Also, because of where the twin steer is located, you will need to bring a fuel tank with you so you can fill it up, as that's part of the requirements to getting the truck. 100% repair and 100% fuel, and then the twin steer is yours. I'm going to speed the footage up here a little bit so we can repair the Paystar, hook the Royal BM, whatever it is, up to the fuel tank, get the twin steer filled up with fuel, and we'll do a little driving here, and of course we'll take it to the shop, see what we can upgrade. It's an interesting truck. I have a few gripes about it as well, and we'll get to those a little bit later in the video. But it sounds really good. And it is massive. It also looks really good. I gotta give them that. The winch bed on this truck looks really accurate to the full size, well, the real rigs out in the world. I used to see them quite a bit when I lived in Wyoming. Of course it was stuck, so we'll hook the Paystar up to it. The International Transtar is actually one of my favorite trucks in the game. I just like the way it looks, I like the way it drives, and I'm kind of a big fan of International anyways. Western Star is one of the few trucks available in the United States I haven't personally driven, so I can't comment on how accurate the interior is. But the interior of all the trucks in SnowRunner is a huge improvement over the older games. Been Tired Mud Runner is the only other one I played. I don't know about the original Mud Runner. The truck does take a little getting used to, as it's just so long. But it is a fun truck to drive, and we'll get some driving footage of it loaded up here a little later. We're going to eventually skip scenes, get it in the garage, and see what we can do to upgrade it and whatnot. I've noticed on a few trucks, when you're in the customization window, the camera gets a little funky in places. There's not a huge amount of customization on the twin steer, but enough you can still make it look cool, or make it look how you want. I do not believe the truck can get all-wheel drive. It's only rear-wheel drive only. But I think with the raised suspension and the much larger tires you can get for it, we'll get to that there in a little bit. Like, 55-inch mud tires, 63s, yeah. I bet the truck will be mostly unstoppable on 63s. Gotta get the taller air cleaners too. You know how deep the water gets in this game sometimes. So, we'll fire it up. And we're gonna see if we can hook onto a trailer with it, which is kind of one of my gripes. I've seen trucks with this style of bed that can tow trailers. The darker plate on the back there would actually flip over to reveal a kingpin, because most of the oil field rigs I've seen, the kingpin's actually on the truck and the fifth wheel plate is on the trailer. And it should be able to hold the drilling rig. There's a big roller on the back of that trailer, and they routinely hang humongous loads off the back end of that truck, so it would have been a little more realistic if you could still haul the drill head with it. I skipped over quite a bit of driving footage. I just had so much I didn't want to bore you with a ton of driving, but we went to the starter map and loaded up some lumber. We're going to go across the Smithfield Dam and go to Island Lake, I believe. Yeah, as the lumber mill's not open yet there. So we need to do some bridge work, and since this truck can haul, well, has 4 cargo units, loaded up enough to get the particular job done in one trip. That is kind of nice about the twin steer. You don't need to try to drag a trailer with you where you want to go. You can just hop in this thing and haul quite a bit. Actually drives surprisingly well for how long it is. I did get it hung up in a clip that I eventually edited out. I just kind of high-centered it on a sandbar coming across one of the rivers, which is kind of be expected. The truck's wheelbase is huge. But it actually handles deep mud and stuff with a load fairly easy for how big it is. Alright, here we are unloading at Hunter Bob's Bridge. Kind of funny how freshly cut lumber turns into a rickety old bridge, but again, that's kind of getting nitpicky. We're going to speed up here because I thought you could just come up to the other end of this other bridge and unload, but you can't. And this is where I ran into a little bit of a problem. Did have some trouble getting the truck backed out of here so I could get turned around. It did take a little while. This is at almost 3.5 times speed, I want to say. So, a little bit of work. The auto winch I've found is sometimes useful, but most of the time you almost always want to manually go in and select your winch points, because it doesn't always pick sensible places to hook onto. Even loaded with the SnowRunner transmission that has one less gear for top end, the twin steer does get moving along pretty quick. It takes it a little bit fully loaded, but once you're rolling along, you make pretty good progress, even though you're sucking down 15 liters a minute of fuel with that bigger engine. I enjoy driving the truck. I've had a lot of fun with it. Not gonna say it's my favorite truck, but it's a fun truck. I'm gonna use it a little more here. Like I said, I think after you get the lift kit, the bigger tires, it'll probably do a lot better. At least in the muck and stuff, and especially the snow. Quick check of the map, because I forgot where we were going. And yeah, we'll get this thing bouncing along really quick here. Of course, since it is so big and so heavy, you're going to get some damage when you eventually bounce along like something. There's some suspension damage there, because the truck's not really designed for speed, and it's so long you really kind of got to slow down to get around corners with it. It's still fun though. I found the raised suspension for the Kodiak Z70 in the game, and this truck and the Paystar are probably my two favorite trucks in the game. I've actually driven a GMC Top Kick, which is the same thing as the Chevy Kodiak. The emblems are different, the grill's a little different. Drove three of them, and all of them with Caterpillar engines in it. And they were a pretty solid truck. I mean, they weren't fast and they weren't pretty, but they got the job done. In SnowRunner here, the truck actually works really good, especially now that I've found the all-wheel drive for it and that little bit lift kit, the bigger mud tires. It's kind of like a big Scout almost. You got 2 cargo slots, lock diff, and all-wheel drive of the truck's just about unstoppable. And here we are unlocking the International Highway truck, which it's kind of funny how the highway trucks seem to be further off the road than the off-road trucks when you find them. Just something kind of funny I observed. The twin steer, was sitting on a road. This thing, which maybe if it was not a swamp could maybe get it out here, but we're going to get it in the shop, see what you can customize on it. Not a whole lot, but that's alright. It's a highway truck. Of course, you got to make it blue. That's my color. It's my stick. You can make fun of me for having an entire fleet of blue vehicles. That's okay. It's my game, and if I want all my trucks to be blue, they're going to be blue. I was kind of disappointed that you couldn't do a little more customization to the truck. You can't change the exhaust. Of course, no bumper. You can put almost any bed on it you want. I hooked it up with a fifth wheel so I could tow a trailer, as you're not going to really be bouncing around in the muck with a flatbed on this truck trying to get jobs done. I kind of wonder why they even put highway trucks in the game in the first place, as so far I haven't seen any highways maybe some DLC will bring us some more paved roads so we can haul stuff a little quicker. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you had a good weekend. We'll catch you later.